Warning, this video that you're about to see apparently triggers lives. What you just watched was a clip of the crowd. Initially, I thought it was 80,000, but I heard that it was up to and over 100,000 people in attendance. Wow, man, that's insane. I don't know if this is his biggest draw or anything like that. I did get a comment on my Twitter. Somebody said that he was drawing the same number of people in 2020, but I don't know how true that is. You know, I wasn't really a huge fan around that time. But anyhow, the media cannot denounce what's happening with Trump. They cannot sit here and try to fold it to us in any sort of way, or try to give it to us in any sort of way, propaganda, brainwash. We all can see it clear as day for ourselves. The streets want Trump back. At least, and I believe that the city that they were in only housed about 5,000 people, and that many people showed up, bro. Wow. Wow. No politician can draw a crowd like Trump. And let's listen to Fox News and Charlie Hurt.
Talk about the case much. There's a gag order in place, as we know, but he did touch on electric vehicle mandates, economy, anti-Semitism, border crime, national security, police support, abortion, healthcare, and even women's sports. I mean, Charlie, he covered a lot.
Yeah, he sure did, and pointed out that most women are probably not going to want to play against somebody like Lawrence Taylor. Probably accurate. No, that was an amazing speech. Spoke for an hour and a half. You know, city officials, town officials told the Associated Press there was 100,000 people there. As you pointed out, people camped out overnight. This is why Democrats are terrified of Donald Trump. This is why they will stop at nothing to stop him, because there is no Democrat, no politician today who can draw a crowd like that Donald Trump draws. And a speech like that, which is entertaining, he's at the beach, in the fairgrounds, sun shining on his face. He can do it in a way that keeps people's attention for an hour and a half. And that is serious political power. And I think Democrats literally don't know what to do about it. So the best shot they have is to try to fight him in court.
Yeah, undoubtedly. And Joey, the one thing that when you see President Biden come out and some of his campaign stops, what he does is he essentially says everything's great. Bidenomics working. Everything's going wonderfully.
That's a lie. We waiting on Maganomics now. Maganomics.
But then former President Trump comes out and he actually hits on things that people are afraid of that's going on. Let's listen to a few of them.
Let's go.
There's so many people here. Man, over 100,000 people. Even on the haters, they said this may be the biggest rally they've ever seen. We are going to officially play in the state of New Jersey. We're going to win the state of New Jersey.
Let's
Day one, we will throw out Bidenomics and we will reinstate Maganomics. From the very first day that we take back the White House from crooked Joe Biden, I believe we're going to have the 4 greatest years in the history of our country.
You know, Joey, polling will tell you, as well as just kitchen table conversations, will tell you that the cost of living is high for people. And so for President Biden to continue to tell people that Bidenomics is great, President Trump here is talking to the American people.
Yeah, I have to imagine most people watching this right now watch the majority of this rally. You know, you listed a laundry list of issues he touched on. He also talked about Mother's Day, Jimmy Carter, and golf. I mean, he covered it all. But the fact is, if you're running against Joe Biden, with or without Trump's previous record, the menu is so vast. I mean, it's like going to your favorite restaurant. There's so many things there you can choose from and drill down on. He did a fantastic job on a lot of issues, but there's so much there. He even had to kind of gloss over some of the bigger ones at the end. And so what does that tell you? That tells you that he's very popular, but he has a lot to run on. In this country right now, we reward politicians that tell you what's broken, and Trump has a lot to tell you that's broken. Ooh. And I think from the celebrities on stage to a Democrat congressman turned Republican, the idea that that doesn't appeal to moderates or people that are undecided or maybe people that aren't super tuned in, that's crazy. Of course it appeals to them.
The people who are indifferent about Trump, who are just kind of on the fence, if they've been actually watching the same show that we've been watching in America, I'm pretty sure that antics that have been set out against Trump has had them look at Trump in a very new light, much more in a positive, much more, hey, I might be voting Republican this year type of light. We have seen that with a whole lot of Democrats this year alone. And this is when we're not even completely halfway there yet, like at all. We've seen Tulsi Gabbard, who else? The woman that's working in Fulton County. I can't even remember her name. I cannot remember that beautiful woman's name, but so many have done that, and you're seeing testimonials everywhere. Nobody can draw a crowd like Trump, and Trump can literally pick from any issue. Just Joe Biden could be the topic, and he can, like he said, come up with a laundry list of things he could talk about. But anyhow, let's finish this out.
Well, and Lisa, to Joey's point, I mean, he's in the district where the congressman was formerly Democratic, turned Republican. Here we are in New Jersey. Well, we're in New York, but he's in New Jersey. And essentially, New Jersey is historically blue when it comes to presidential elections. They have had red governors. But here we are under Phil Murphy in New Jersey, and taxes on gas, property, income have all gone up. President Trump is appealing to these voters. What do you make of it?
Well, we saw a triumphant Donald Trump. I mean, this is a guy who has had arrows thrown at him. I mean, Democrats have tried to put him in jail, bankrupt him, and he's not only is he still standing, but he's on top, right? He's winning right now in the polls. You mentioned New Jersey, the state that he was speaking from, that he's in currently. Look, he lost by 16 in 2020, but if you look at an Emerson College poll from earlier last month, he's only down by 7. In a head-to-head contest. And then when you include third-party candidates or potential third-party candidates, he's only down by 5. So a 9-point swing is significant when you look at that head-to-head. And as a political nerd, it has me asking, what states are going to be in play this election cycle? You look at sort of like the more conventional 7 swing states: Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, North Carolina likely as...
Oh, Georgia is definitely... Yeah, they definitely not going for the blue this year.
Well, but Team Trump put out a memo saying, look, Minnesota is in play, Virginia's in play, Joe Biden's trying to eye Florida, but that's a joke because registered Republicans outnumber Democrats by 900,000. So good luck, Joe Biden there. So, what will this electoral map end up looking like after November?
And the fact that he's actually doing a rally like this in a place like New Jersey, I think, says a lot about how aggressive they're trying to be on it. One other point that is worth noting, that I think probably what will be the sort of newsiest item out of this is the fact that apparently North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum and his wife Catherine flew with Trump into Wildwood. Yeah. And he talked about the fact that this is a guy who made his money in technology but knows more about energy than anybody else I know, and then turned to the stage and said, get ready for something, just get ready. Yep. So anybody who's like watching the Veep sweepstakes, I think that was a pretty significant.
And he was very impressive in the debates. I mean, he really was. I didn't know who he was, and then he was very impressive then.
And the fact that he is so knowledgeable about energy is going to be so important.
Absolutely.
One of the issues that Trump beats Biden on so badly is energy prices.
But think about this moment we are in American history where we have predecessor and successor running against each other. Yeah. And Donald Trump, he just went through all of the wins that he had when he was president. And so Americans can go through the list. They can stack up all the things he talked about, foreign policy, energy, the economy, crime, immigration, all of it. Look where we were and look where we are now under Joe Biden. Which do you prefer? And CNN had a poll recently finding that 55% of Americans now view Donald Trump's presidency as a success. Now, to win over those undecided voters, he also needs to look to the future and convince those voters that not only was the past better, but the future can be as well. Which I think he did tonight.
And what does he do? He goes in and he tries to neutralize the best thing Democrats have, which is the abortion debate. I mean, they think that's their best issue. And he goes in and he tries to neutralize it. I don't know how effective it is, but I don't think it turns his base away.
I mean, it literally diffuses the Democrats' only talking point right now.
Certainly be interesting. There'll be talk this week, as we saw with Vice President talk with Haley. We know Haley is out, but that...
One thing is for sure. Trump draws crowds. He definitely does. And your boy Biden, that man out here, he drawing flies. Suck it, Biden supporters. And I only say that because all of the comments online right now was just a whole bunch of, Biden don't need rallies. Biden don't need this. Y'all salty. And And you know it's even worse when CNN is forced to admit the truth. Y'all know that all of these cases against Trump is nothing but a witch hunt. It's nothing but politically motivated shenanigans in order to try to keep him off of that ballot. But when CNN is forced to admit the truth, man, it is a sweet day.
None of this is playing out as I thought it would. Trump is now leading in almost all the swing states, but behind those numbers lie even more troubling details. As someone worried about the prospects of a second Trump term, I think it's best to be honest about reality. I understand that polls are not always accurate, but in general, they have tended to underestimate Donald Trump's support, not overestimate it. I doubt that there are many shy Biden voters who seem to be uniting behind Trump. Whatever opposition he faced in the primaries has largely melted away. And the trials against him keep him in the spotlight, infuriate his base, who sees him as a martyr, and even may serve to make him the object of some sympathy among people in general who believe that his prosecutors are politically motivated. This happens to be true, in my opinion. I doubt the New York indictment would have been brought against a defendant whose name was not Donald Trump.
Are y'all thinking the same thing that I'm thinking right now? Honestly, are we all thinking the same thing? Is he gonna be fired? I mean, honestly, he worked for CNN and he said that. Bro, talk about balls of steel. I'm pretty sure that wasn't on the teleprompter. I'm gonna tell you right now, that wasn't on the teleprompter to say, hey, we gotta wake up to reality. What? You gonna say that on CNN, reality? Bro, that's too big of a word for some people. Even CNN is looking at this like, yo, if it wasn't Trump, this wouldn't be happening. And if the left is starting to do that, bro, ooh, people waking up, man. Somebody says when CNN says the Democrats are dirty, the stench must be overwhelming beyond the ability of all but most corrupt to stand without gagging. We all can see it clear as day. I hope I don't ever smell it, but if I can smell what the corruption from the left smells like, ooh, it'll be like that scene off what was that? What was it? Mr. Society. And he's like, I want to go see a little unalive body. Yeah, it ain't funny in real life, but yeah, you get it.